angel, and I want to, it's kind of messy. I tried to erase some of the pencil under, but I couldn't. But I want to really like enhance this sketch using line. So I just started out with, so instead of using like your normal thing that you're doing with colored pencil, which is shading, I want to do like the color and maybe the shading, trying to use line to do it. So I just got some colors for the hair, and I'm going to have the hair go from like light to dark. So like I'm probably going to use cross hatching or hatching to do this. And when I want the color to get lighter, I'm using a different colored pencil. So enhancing line gives it just a really different feeling than when you're just using shading. So I'm going to do a lighter yellow up here. Sorry for the messiness of this, but I don't think we're going to see it at the end. I'm looking at it to see how it looks. I'm going to do an outline later, probably in black. So that's cross hatching. This is kind of a stylized angel. I'm just saying, do I like it or do I not like it? I'm getting a black. Let me just see how this looks with a black outline. I could also do a brown outline. Maybe a little black in the darker part at the bottom. I don't know. Well, let's just keep going and see what happens. The problem with doing drawings is sometimes you don't like the way that they turn out, and then you just kind of have to start over. So I'm trying to let some of the white paper show through so we can see the use of line. That's going to add another, like, kind of a dynamic element to the drawing, right? Where it's not as smooth as just the pure shading, right? Let me see how this looks if I outline in brown instead of black. I'm still just kind of seeing if I like it. So I'm just going to keep going with it. What if I want to change? I want to make this kind of a bigger, fatter lock of hair. Okay, so I'm going to come in here with some brown. I'm trying to have it go from light to dark. This is not totally realistic. It's in between realism and abstraction. I'm just looking. I'm probably going to change the size of some of the strands of hair and the shape. I'm not totally happy with the shape of the strands of hair I made. So again, you're always changing when you're drawing, right? You start with a sketch and then you're always changing. Sometimes varying the colors that you're using can enhance like the looks of the lines. Okay, now I'm looking over here. I'm kind of trying to, I'm going to change this shape as well. I'm just making these shapes kind of, these strands of hair a little bit bigger and a little bit different. Just because I feel like these strands I made are kind of tiny. Okay, so I'm just kind of enhancing these shapes. I think that looks better. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here with the brown. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to let some of the lines. I'm just kind of looking at it, seeing if I like it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like the bigger strands, so I'm going to kind of try to work with that. Just one thing at a time. Again, you can interpret this assignment however you like. You're doing your own interpretation. You can do wild lines, contour lines, contour lines. I'm kind of doing cross hatching. And it's gonna maybe need some outlining. I was thinking of perhaps, I'm not sure yet, outlining it in ink. I'm gonna have this piece still to be there. Do I want more pieces here? Just how I would talk to myself when I was drawing. Need to erase this. Okay. So now I'm gonna come back in with that looks better. Just trying to enhance these outlines. I have to sharpen these pencils because I'm trying to keep them sharp so the lines are thinner. Especially when you're doing line, you need to keep your pencil sharp. Okay, so, sorry, let me try to move this arrow up here. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. Use yellow. The hair is very stylized. I don't like this pencil line in here, but I couldn't get it off. I mean, it doesn't look perfect, but it looks okay. It's just kind of like a fantastical, kind of cartoony angel. Okay, so I want to thicken these locks of hair. Also, another reason I'm doing this is because I don't want the drawing to take like hours and hour. You know, I only have an hour and a half to demo to you. So I'm just simplifying it a bit. It's kind of, the only thing I don't like about it is that Sorry, I was having a hard time erasing some of these pencil lines. So it's kind of, you kind of see that ugly, messy gray underneath. This is a very simple and symmetrical image. Let me just try this one more time. All right. Okay. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look horrible. I'm going to, again, make these strands of hair thicker. I think they look better, but I kind of started doing it as a way to kind of save a little bit of time in doing this demo. But I do actually think it looks better. Okay, so I'm going to erase some of the gray. Okay. And yellow. May need enhancing. Okay, the wings, I want the wings to be colorful. So the sky's going to be blue. This is going to be yellow or yellow-orange. Maybe red. I'm thinking pinks. Let's see what kind of pinks I have. Purples. Again, this is kind of a fantasy angel. Just see what this looks like. What about this? That's gonna need to be sharpened. I'm trying to see if I want the lines to go with the curve here. Maybe, maybe not. And the lighter pink up here. So I'm doing these much the same way as I was doing the hair. With cross hatching, I need to sharpen this pencil, sorry. Come on, sharpen. Okay, there we go. And I have two other pinks too. Again, this pencil keeps breaking. Let's try this one. Okay. Why am I having such trouble sharpening these pencils? Okay, come on. There we go. Got something. And I'm going to get kind of a violet for the outline. A blue violet. So I'm just gonna do, I'm happy with that color for the wing. So I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna do it in layers. So I'm gonna start blocking in the lighter pink up here. Just get this kind of done as fast as I can. Trying to maximize how fast I'm working. It needs to be sharpened again. Hold on. So again, when it starts getting smaller, it gets the lines get thicker when it starts wearing down. Oh, it keeps breaking. Let me since we don't have that much more time, let me come into a different color. I'm gonna go yellow orange here. Orange, yellow orange. This is supposed to be a halo, but I wanted it to be a little bit different than the hair. So like I'm doing this now, so when I start my next video, I can have all my pinks sharpened, so you don't have to see me sharpen pencils. So I'm trying to make kind of a halo go around the person's head. Then I'm going to go back into my red and my orange and kind of have them mix. And here I'm trying to do the lines in a circular motion instead of cross hatching to kind of show the halo. Okay, I'm gonna go into a red orange over here and maybe a red at the top. Like more like a halo, but also like the sun. I want to go probably red on edge. Still trying to leave some of the white paper showing. Okay, that needs a little bit of work, but I'm gonna go with a lighter yellow in here. And this is kind of different than the yellow I had in the hair. I may add some of that yellow too. We'll see how it looks. So this is a warm yellow here, and this is a cool yellow. Let me come back and get the same yellow right here. Kind of like a yellow orange, but not quite. And then I'm gonna go, I'm gonna come back to the wings in a second, but I feel like I'm just gonna get out a couple of blues. For the sky. I want a darker blue as well. Okay. So probably his t-shirt would end about here. it so you can see where the bottom of the page is. So I'm going to get my darkest green for the collar. Okay. Again, trying to go with the round kind of shape. And then I'm going to go into what color do I want the stripes to be. I'm going to go for kind of a yellow green. I don't know if I want them to be crossing, but we'll see. Because then I'm going to outline them in the darker green. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. Let's go with this. What does this look like? Or maybe, let's try this. That's too similar. There we go. I'm going with the cross hatching. Line is very time consuming, by the way. I'm sure you can already tell that. When you do cross hatching, sometimes you want it depends on what you want. Like sometimes you will want the lines to be in exactly the same direction if you want it to look perfect. If you like a look that's a little bit more messy, then you want it to be in some. Mine is a little bit more messy. Like I don't like the perfect look. Like I think that if it's too perfect, it looks weird. So I like a little bit of mess. Okay, hold on. Line can be a lot of work. Just, I know I already said that, but it's time consuming. As can be shading. But line just gives it a little bit more of a depth to it, you know? That like the shading is really smooth. And then the line is like, or cross hatching, which is what I'm doing, is a bit more rough. So it's just giving the design or the drawing a different feel. Hold on. Let me sharpen this guy. Whoops. Do I want to add more cross hatching? I don't know. I just try to take it one step at a time. It's a lot of line work, a lot of hand work. It takes a long time. Sometimes when I'm doing stuff like this, since it's a lot of repetitive work, I just turn on an educational video or a movie that I like or some music and listen to it while I'm doing it, which makes it just a little bit more, you know, it doesn't make it seem like, because sometimes people can get frustrated and they're like, I've been doing this for so long. But if you have like, you know, a book on tape, it sometimes makes it easier. Or if you're watching a TV show or a video you like. I'm just defining this, and I'm also going to define the stripes with a dark green. You have to be patient to do stuff like this. I actually like it. I think it's kind of meditative, but it's slow progress. So some people, they get a little bit frustrated with that. do like, I like the striped shirt. And that's his heart. And I chose green again to contrast the other colors that I'm using. You don't have to use color in this assignment. You can do it in black and white if you want. Okay, so now I'm looking at the sleeves, and unless he's wearing just a vest like that, but I think I'm gonna have it go around, the lines go around, but I'm trying to figure out how they would look on the sleeves, right? I'm trying to make them kind of curve, like if his arm was in here, it would curve, right? And again, I started this from a sketch, but now I'm doing it out of my imagination. All right, I'm gonna go with that. So I'm just doing some cross-hatching here. And you can see how time consuming this is if you want to cover a whole surface with cross-hatching. Okay, so now putting in the light that needs to be enhanced. Okay, so now I'm going to come over to this sleeve. You know, you could also, like, say, I'm getting on a tangent here, but say you wanted to make something dark, you could use a regular pencil and combine it with the colored pencil and darken certain areas. I may do that later, we'll see. Okay, so over here, how are these lines gonna go? I'm gonna have them go up this way. Like that. And put some cross hatching in here. And down here. So then I'm going to get my lighter green, a yellow green. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. Okay, so now this sleeve looks a bit fat. So it looks too fat. Yeah, it does. So I'm going to, I feel like it should be narrower, like about right here. See how much I could erase of that. Oh, it worked pretty well, actually. All right, so now I'm going to get the darker green and just outline. It's hard when you make mistakes in your drawings because sometimes you can't fix them. I'm just dancing a little bit down here, adding a little bit of this darker green. Oops, I just went over what I erased. Okay. So here's the edge of the shirt, and right here, okay, so now I'm going to go into these, hold on, let me sharpen this. So I'm at 21. I'll go to 35 on this, and then I'll do maybe another 20 with some ink. We'll see. Okay, so move this stuff. Do I want the wings to continue? I'm gonna put the sky down here. I'm just thinking to myself. So this is the same kind of blue that I was using in the sky. Okay, just, oh, you can't see it, sorry. So just that, and do I want crossing? Probably, so I'm gonna cross. You can still see a little bit of that green from the shirt, but I'll come back over it with some ink perhaps later. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to just have it be like a cut off wing. I know that looks weird, but yeah, I'm just going to have it like this. Just in terms of trying to get this done as quickly as possible. That's my starting point for that. And I'm going to come back up here and finish this area. I'm actually going to turn it upside down for a sec. And I often work upside down. Not like if I was trying to draw a realistic face, but if I'm trying to fill in an area, yeah, upside down is fine. It's just going to make it easier for me to do this dark sky area. Okay. That's a start. I may add another layer to that, but I'm going to come over here and do this area. I need to sharpen this, though. It's getting, if you're doing stuff like this, you need to sharpen often. I'm going to trace this outline with this blue violet. I'm going to do the same over here. Trying to make it kind of like a Van Gogh-y sky and halo. Okay, let me come back to the clouds for a second. So you should be spending on each assignment, at least 2 hours to make it a really nice, well thought out, well executed design. Do I want to go in circles in the cloud? Perhaps. I may add another blue. I'm just going to do a base in this. I'm getting these swirls from the lines of Van Gogh. Okay, so now I'm coming over here. I'm just checking for time. Probably gonna do 5 more minutes on this video at most. So I'll have 20 minutes to ink. So in between that time, I'm probably gonna finish up the wings and the face. You don't need to see hundreds and hundreds of minutes of me doing lines. I think you get the idea by now. Just seeing how this looks. I want to add in another blue. Just for some variety. So line can also create rhythm. Okay. Alrighty. I'm not going to stop here, fill this in, and then I'm going to come back and add some ink. I think the ink will help it pop out a bit more. But I'm going to do some in between, just fill in. The smaller forms with line work. I left this white too. I didn't know. Now I'm thinking this might be nice red, but let me do this inking first. It took me a while to look at it and figure red. Sometimes you have to take breaks from your artwork and then come back to it. And I'm thinking to myself, is this tip too big? I kind of like it though. I don't know, it might be a little too, like, sloppy, rowdy, big, thick. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this black line too thick? Would I want it to be thinner? But I like it. I think I like it thick. I'm gonna do this line right here. And I'm doing it slowly because I don't want to make a mistake. And I said, when I first started, I thought, well, I might totally mess this up, but it doesn't look that bad. Probably takes a couple minutes to dry, maybe more. Usually when I do ink, I use a watercolor paper. This is just a regular paper. It's a drawing paper. I think it's okay. I mean, it may be a little too thick, but there's nothing I can do about it now. I already started. I'm already just doing outlines is taking a long time, but let's try to get it. I'm trying not to make this portion of the video longer than 25 minutes, but we'll see. So I might do a little bit of cross hatching with the ink as well, but I want to get the outline out of the way just to like enhance areas of dark. It'll go a lot darker than the colored pencil is able to go. Alright, it looks so, I do get better with that ink. It's just a definition. Let me deal with the hair. It's kind of like, I've actually never combined ink and colored pencil, so it's kind of repelling the ink because the colored pencil has some wax in it. Like how you would do like in kindergarten, do like black watercolor over crayon, and like the crayon would show through. So you're seeing some of the marks of the colored pencil show through. I've actually never combined ink and colored pencil. I've combined ink and charcoal and regular pencil. Or colored pencil over but not under. So, but it's actually still showing, so it's okay. I like to mix media. You can do it any way you want. You don't have to. I just think it's you get like interesting results. Like you could just do ink or you could just do pencil. takes a while. I'm trying to work as fast as I can, but I'm also trying to be careful because I'm using a pen and I can't fix this. I can't erase it. Yeah, I do. I like it with the black outline better. I thought maybe it would kind of mess it up. The only way to learn things is by practicing and trying new things out. And then you'll discover what you're good at. It's the neck. Yeah, it does. It does help it pop out. It's a little unfinished. I'm doing as much as I can in the time allotted. Like there's a few things I'd like to finish in this that are kind of undone. But again, you still get the main idea of the alignment. So that's the goal. Okay. I don't have that much more time. So let me kind of... And I'm being careful because I just got my hand in the ink again. So that would have totally messed something up if it spread. I do like the black. It's a little I'm getting used to it. It's a little extreme. Like maybe I could have done it thinner, but that was a little mistake where the ink there was too much ink. I cannot fix that. Let's see. I'm doing this as fast as I can. Whoops, there's a little mistake as well. That can't be fixed. Okay. Now I need to deal with the shirt, and then I'll maybe try to do some cross hatching. It's taking a while to dry, and some of it is not settling in to the paper over the colored pencil. It's like a wax retardant or something that's like retarding some of the ink from settling into the paper. I'm just trying to think, do I think that enhances the stripes? Just looking at it while I'm working. 17. I'm definitely not going to go over 30. So after, whoops, there we go. I was going too fast because I'm trying to rush the video. I'm just going to do as much as I can. It may not be completely finished. Okay. So I'm going to switch the tip. So I'm going to pull this tip out. Hold on. Let me just, give me 1 second. I'm just getting a piece of paper towel. Okay. And I'm getting the smaller tip. So there is a smaller tip, which I was going to use, but I thought it would be too thin. Okay, so I don't want to put my hand in any of that ink. This is kind of a very thin tip. Like that would have been too thin. I need to find a tip that's in between those two. I didn't want to use the fat tip here. Oops, now I just smudged it because I had my hand on it. So I'm actually going to turn it upside down. Because there's like all this ink right here. The face needs a lot more work, and maybe colors unrealistic or realistic. I couldn't quite decide on that. Okay, so now, like what I was thinking was like, perhaps, I don't know if it's gonna look bad or good, but like kind of including some lines with the ink to kind of enhance the colored pencil. And you know what? I'm at 20 minutes. I know I'm pushing it here. So also I wanted to do like a series of lines leading in the darker areas. I'm just going to show you what I wanted to do. I'm not going to finish it because you don't need to do that. In the darker areas of the colored pencil, like that. And so I think that would even give it like more, like adding to darkness of certain areas would just give it like just more of a contrast between light and dark. See how much that like kind of makes the hair even like more, like it's going from light to dark even more. So it's really, see that? I think that really adds to it. So I would also probably do it right here, just like on the bottom of the wing. And like, I feel that really enhances the contrast as well. So, I mean, that's what I'm going to do with the ink, but you don't need to, you've already seen probably an hour and a half of video, so you don't need to see more. But there is one more thing I am going to show you. So that will probably take another hour to do that. I was also, oh, sorry, I know I can go on and on, but the other thing I was going to do was to show you that I would probably put it in on the bottom here. And then I'm not going to do all of it, but so I think that like line work would really add to like the colored pencil line and like really make the whole thing pop out and be like amazing. And then the last thing I wanted to do was, what color is this? Just to show what I was thinking. That's too dark. Hold on. To get a red. And put it in for this top area of the wing. So basically I'm gonna say I would want to spend, to finish this and make it look like a really cool line work drawing, I would go over it with the red colored pencil, then fix the face, then put in some cross hatching with the black ink like all over it in the dark areas to really enhance it. And then I think it would look really amazing. I'm gonna stop here. I've only done 24. That's too much. Okay, I'm gonna stop.